Hey, welcome in. We are back with another speed build. It's kind of what I do. Today, we are having a little fun, doing something a little different. We are building a house that I saw in Monopoly Go, and I thought that's really cute. I wonder if I can do that in The Sims. While it's not an incredibly difficult house, it does pose different issues that we come across, and I think we make work pretty well. Then backstory. I am not a Monopoly Go player like that. My mother and her twin sister have been playing it religiously for, I don't know, when did it come out? You may know. I have no idea. But they play it all the time, talking about roles and card swaps, and I don't know. However, back in January, my brother told me about this app where you can make money playing games. Right up my alley. I love playing games. And while I'm not a huge mobile phone game player, I used to be. There was a point in my life where I didn't have a PC. I didn't really play Sims on the PlayStation. My ex-husband and I used to play things like Fallout or Skyrim, even Minecraft. Like, there was a variety of games that we played. Sims wasn't one of them. So I played Sims free play and The Sims on my phone a lot and was very into that. So once my brother told me about this, I've downloaded games and I've been playing. And while it's not a ton of money, I've made about $180 playing games and winning money off of them. And because of this, one of the games that they offered up was Monopoly Go. So I started playing Monopoly Go just to make a couple dollars off of it, basically, just for fun. You know, our phones are always handy right there, easy peasy to just grab it and play a little bit every day. Just kind of use your spins up, your dice, I should say, use your dice and go from there. So I've been doing that. And one of the houses looks like this. And I just love it. I thought it was so cute, felt very modern and fun. And who doesn't want a rooftop pool? Actually, I don't want a rooftop pool. It kind of sounds expensive. Like a leak in your rooftop pool could mean flooding your entire house, and that's not ideal. But in The Sims, I think it's perfect and iconic and just so fun. While this house is literally just a square on top of a square, I think it has a lot of character. I think that the roofing and the platforms give it a lot of fun detail and make it just a little bit more than a square on top of a square. I think the biggest struggle outside was the fact that wood tones are not always 100% on. You know it, I know it. There is a variety of wood swatches and you can't always match them up. And that is a little stinky because I want to. I want to match them up. And then you can't put a column up into a pool, which fine, I guess that makes sense. Logistically speaking, right? So I end up just using wallpaper to kind of make a faux column here. And I think it works. If my, squeaky voice didn't tell you anything, I think it's actually really cute and I think it does work. Where I struggle mostly, actually, the wood tones are not fun. But trying to just replicate everything, obviously I can't do slanted windows going up the roof. The scale of things are a little off. I like a door, but the windows are too tall for it. The windows are too small. It was a little bit of a struggle, but when we get there and I really like it. I was looking for a specific door and I knew it was Get Famous. I just wasn't loving everything. So I end up going for this one. It is from Growing Together. I think it has a really great vibe and very reminiscent of the picture, but, the Sims 4 version. As for windows, I love this Get Famous window. I wish that they had a thinner version, but I think we make it work because I go ahead and make the house bigger. I loved the 3D-ness of it. You know what I mean? The way that it pops off was very reminiscent of this picture. And it felt like enough of a, I want to use this window that I just made the house a little whiter. I had it bigger at first, shrunk it down, brought it back out again. It's fine. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do. But go ahead and make it a little bit bigger. And that way I can use those really pretty windows. It's for the plot, right? And I think it looks great. The thing is, it feels very unrealistic at points. Obviously, you won't really have a second story pool that is in your roof, but the fun is there, right? It's Monopoly Go. So it's a video game, literally just a game. So we can have these unrealistic things like maybe the roof hanging off on this one side without a support. Maybe that platform roof, the awning, if you will, literally only being held up by 3 columns. We can live in that unrealistic world because it's a game. And I think it makes it really fun that way. I am curious, you watching this, do you play Monopoly Go? Because I want to know. Inquiring minds would like to know if you play Monopoly Go. It's all right. I enjoy it enough that I am doing it right. I don't know that it's a forever thing. So, there will be a point where I put it down and never go back to it. But for now, I'm liking it enough to keep going in it. Now, these solar panels, it's for the plot, right? So I wanted to shrink them down and have 4 rows of 3. Yeah. I'm like, did I say that right? 3 rows of 4? No, 4 rows of 3. So they're shrunk down and kind of all placed. I don't actually know if they work. And in my mind, I really don't care if they don't work shrunk down. If they don't work shrunk down, definitely delete them. Use them how you please. However, that's what the picture has. So that's what we did. The floor plan in here is a real weird, real small. We have such a big chunk of the second story taken up with a pool. And that is just, it's just there. It's unusable to the second story. And that's okay. So we do have a staircase going onto the rooftop because that's what the picture alludes to, that there is a staircase coming down. But to get into your second story, I do have a ladder going up from your first story to your second story. And the bedroom is such a little weird shape. I definitely wanted to wall off your staircase that goes up into the open area just for lighting purposes. It doesn't have to be closed. It's not going to matter in the long run. But when you have walls that are open to the outside, the lighting glitches, and we all know this, and that's okay. I wanted to close it so I didn't have the glitching of the light glitching, the glitchy light glitchiness, whatever. Then if you look at the picture, you see these little like yellow bulb lights hanging from the roof. They're a little weird. I don't know where yellow comes in, but they showed yellow. So we got some little yellow lanterns and I kind of just placed them outside. I placed 2 different ones, one more yellow and one that was a little just kind of off-white. We're going to all place those in a little bit. So you kind of saw the process of me getting them. We're going to get back to it. I love Dream Home Decorator. And if you don't have it, I highly recommend it. It is great for small spaces. With Dream Home Decorator, I was able to put in a dresser and it attaches to this lovely desk and kind of make this built-in space. We definitely did a little Dream Home Decorator moment up here so that this person had a desk. I feel like because we're modeling this home after a home in a game, that this sim is a gamer, loves games, maybe loves to read, just that like quintessential cozy gamer. So we of course had to use little Simsy's dual monitor computer, and we used her chair as well. I end up using her rug. I use a lot of that stuff. It's so cute and felt very on point for this sim being a little bit of a cozy gamer. And because of that, we had to use these Sims posters, right? They're so fun and iconic. I try not to clutter up these spaces too much because they are smaller spaces. I want your sim to be able to move about and get around here. Now, this house is not play tested just yet, but I plan on getting it play tested and on the gallery by the time you see this. That way, if you really like this house and it just speaks to your little heart, like you can have it for yourself, for your Sims. It really is cute. The idea and where it came from is kind of quirky and silly, but I love it. I think it's so pretty. While the kitchen stays on this wall, the bathroom moves over and we open it out. There's no reason to have this closed off space in such a tiny little area. So we take the kitchen and kind of wrap it in this U shape. We're using the Home Chef Hustle kitchen. I love this kitchen set. It's so pretty and I use it a decent amount. I think a lot of people do. It was a really great game changer. It has this very modern look, but it's very pastel, very pretty, very cutesy, demure. When is that going to go away? Has that gone away? Am I behind on the times? I don't think I am. I think it's still here. But anyways, I decided to do it this U shape and kind of have a little island coming off. That way it ticks those boxes, right? You've got this nice kitchen that has enough space for everything. Your Sim can come in here and cook. You can have a little bit of clutter, but you also have a place for your Sim to come sit and eat. Home Chef Hustle came with these shelves, which are so pretty. I know that the middle cabinet is a sore spot for people, that it's the shelving. I usually just take two regular cabinets and I'll place them to make a corner piece. But they do have this extension of shelves that are lit up underneath. And so I make a little corner section where the bathroom wall meets the kitchen, and create a little nook for your knickknacks. A nook for your knickknacks. There you go. That's a mouthful. For the living room, I knew I wanted to do some sort of love seat, but I wasn't sold on any of these love seats. I needed it to be modern. So we go ahead and use the Dream Home Decorator sectionals, which iconic. Once again, Dream Home Decorator coming in clutch. So we make this little love seat and it's perfect for your Sim. This is a single Sim household. I mean, it could have two Sims, but it's kind of a small space. So single Sim household, maybe, and create this little sectional. We're going to use the Dream Home Decorator little table, coffee table, TV stand, whatever you want to call it, TV stand, I guess, just a small TV. And it's really pretty. I love these yellowy, orangey wood tones. I think it's gorgeous. And then I started using the Modern Luxe curtains. They felt a little too not modern. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's Modern Luxe, but I was looking for something a little different. So we go ahead and use the Desert Kit. What in the world? My brain just stopped. Desert Oasis, Luxe, Desert Luxe? The Desert Luxe Kit? Desert Luxe Kit. The luxurious desert kit. Y'all are going to yell at me in the comments, but just get over it. It happens to everyone. Brain fart. Once again, getting in here and using Dream Home Decorator sink, it just worked. The 25th anniversary, we got this subway tile. In love. I love a good subway tile. We're looking to remodel our kitchen because I live in a house that was built in the 70s and I want subway tile. Even if it's like a faux subway tile because we're over here like balling on a budget, but subway tile just has such a pretty look to it. And while I know it's a lot, I love this wallpaper. The leaves are really pretty and I don't get to use it a whole lot because it's a lot. It's pretty out there, but it's so pretty. I loved the white with it. It was grayscale. So it really let this yellow blue theme that I have going on in the living room pop. For upstairs, we used the Storybook Nursery Kit and we used that really pretty grayscale wallpaper that looks like a mural. You've got the hot air balloons, the UFO. I think it's so cool. I use a plaster gray wallpaper on all the other walls, but keep those walls on the far end of the room, all in that pretty hot air balloon wallpaper. I think it's fun. It's silly and cute, but because it's all grayscale, it doesn't feel too distracting. Thoughts? I'm here for it. We're using the Riviera kit for these really cute loungers. I think they're pretty. They kind of match the vibe that the picture has. And then using just a couple plants sized up to create the rest of that picture. I go ahead and use these yellow lights. I like them best. They match the picture the best. They're not complete like orbs, but I think they work enough. And they're silly, but it works. That's what the picture shows, so that's what we did. There's not really a wallpaper or an outside siding that shows up in this picture, so I decided to go ahead and use this eco lifestyle plaster, just trying to keep it kind of simple and really let the rest of the house just shine. And then once again, that Discovery University stone, I put it on 3 corners. I thought it looked nice. Now, I struggled with wanting to put windows on these back 2 walls that you can't see, but there wasn't good space for them. You know what I mean? If I wanted to keep the murals intact, if I wanted it to look a certain way, it just wasn't going to work out. So I ended up using the high school years trellis and just kind of play around with sizes. I think that it looks really nice. It takes up some space on that wall, and I like it. I think it works just fine. We're going to go ahead and we're going to go ahead and turn this house and move it on the lot because the door really is where the front is, right? So we go ahead and turn it. That way I can put a fence down. And I wasn't 1,000% sure on the fence that I wanted to use, but I knew that I wanted an L-shaped fence in the back. Landscaping, I work on just a little bit right now. I'm going to bring it back in a minute. Just trying to replicate the plants that you see in this picture. And that's pretty much it. Like 2 bushes on one side, 2 bushes on another, like leafy plants and a flower plant. However, that wasn't ever going to be good enough for me. I wanted to have more landscaping. I wanted to be a house that you would want, right? And this is very bare. So for the plot, right, this is how it's going to look. But I'm going to go in and add better landscaping, in my opinion, or rent stone because it's gorgeous. There's a palm tree in this picture, which somehow works. It's so weird. I was like, that's so weird. There's a palm tree, but it looks so good. I don't know. I like it. I like the palm tree. I changed the name. So I had used this lot for something else, and I didn't realize that the lot name was still Eco Starter. This is not a starter. This is not Eco Lifestyle only. This is Monopoly Go. So I went ahead and changed the name on the lot. So if you're looking at that and you're like, Eco Starter, what? No, it was a previous that I bulldozed because I like this lot. It is a 15 by 20 in the Eco Lifestyle wood world. What? In the Eco Lifestyle world. Eco Lifestyle world. Words are not coming to me freely. So here's the thing. I'm going out of town. When you see this, I will be out of town. So my brain is on a million other things, getting ready, packing, getting my kids ready, and going on a trip. We're only traveling like 8 hours. And I live in Texas. So traveling 8 hours, I will still be in Texas. But my brain is just there. So the words aren't free flowing. And that's okay. I think you can keep up. You're smart. You can keep up. The landscaping is coming along swimmingly. I went out and used an Eco Lifestyle fence. I really like the idea of this decorative wooden fence. It matches everything really well. I have added in some grassy landscaping and fenced it in to kind of keep up with this modern feel of the house. And I'm really just now getting to add what I want into this house, right? Obviously, there's not a table. There's only one lounge chair, but we got to make this playable and workable for your Sims and have a certain look to it. So I do go in and edit a little bit and add to the landscaping and add to the decorativeness of this house. We are putting some blinds in this room, some shade, because that's a bright room right there. You got those 2 big windows like beaming into your bedroom. So we go ahead and put some shades up, and we keep this room very blue and gray, which I think works really well. Take the industrial loft kits, fuzzy furry carpet, rug, and add it in. I size it down. It's a really pretty blue color. And then just try and start cluttering up this desk area books, a radio, things for your sim to keep them busy. If we talk about them being a gamer, they're going to want some music. There's just keeping it really fun and comfy, cozy for this gamer sim. I'm telling you, I use so much of the comfy cozy gamer kit, the little Simsy kit. It's so cute. There's so many great pieces. It's definitely worth a purchase if you haven't purchased it already. We are using Snowy Escape. They've got a furry rug too, a little fuzzy furry rug, and just turning it around and putting it under the desk. It's perfect. When it comes to these little shelves in here and cluttering up, I'm just using tons of cups. I used the Party Essentials kit. Don't hate me, okay? Plates, napkins, cups, silverware. It just felt like it could go on a shelf. And then just things like a cookie jar, some books, some other jars, trying to add this clutter to it. And everything is very blue scale. I do change the color of these swatches and mix and match it a little bit. Add some recipe books on the counter. I love this little kitchen. I think it's super cute. Give me a yellow kitchen and some subway tile. Like, so pretty, sunny, like a happy place, okay? A very happy place. Now, hear me out. There is not a window behind the sink. In smaller homes, I think it's so fun to add a little mirror behind the sink, especially if you don't have a window. So that's what we do. Put a little mirror there. Super cute. We are really just doing last minute stuff. Going to add a couple of pictures to this wall. We're adding doormats to the front door and just finishing up some clutter in the living room. Very last minute stuff. Once again, we are adding some cozy gamer kit stuff, some controllers, some games, and just making this house feel very lived in. We even add the gaming console that came in the event, the winter event, I guess. Cluttering up this bathroom just a little bit. I do go pack crazy. Sorry about it. We can talk pack friendly builds at some point, but sometimes it's just fun to go crazy and add in all this stuff. I try to be mindful and then it just slips past. You know what I mean? But we are basically done with this house, adding plants, and call it a day. I think it's time we go ahead and jump into the screenshots. I had so much fun building this Monopoly Go house. I think it's so silly. It's fun. And you literally can take inspiration from anywhere to build your house in The Sims and make it work. I love seeing what people can do and taking inspiration from some of the simplest things. So this house was so much fun to do, and I'll probably keep an eye out. What, Monopoly Go series? Who knows? There's just something really cool about putting a pool inside your house. Rooftop pool. I'm here for it. I could live here. I couldn't live here. I've got kids and family. But, the thought is nice, right? If you like this house, it's play tested on the gallery waiting for you and your Sims. I hope you have a great night wherever you are. Bye, y'all.